Couple years ago when I did a video and I said it's kind of up to you to when to decide what it was best for you to buy a store or get into an eBay store. I kind of left you hanging and it wasn't right. So today I'm going to walk through and tell you what to do, when to do as far as an eBay store. Hello, my name's Chris. I'm the Railroad Reseller. If you like YouTube and you like talking about reselling and reselling content, smash the like button. If you like talking about reselling all the time, hit the subscribe button. But today, what we're going to talk about, like I said, is eBay stores. And which eBay store is right for you? When should you start a second eBay store? Just going into the whole topic. We're just going to cover it all. Anyway, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and kick out the anchor store thing. Most of you don't need an anchor store. If you're watching this channel and you're watching me because you have an anchor store, I don't know how much I can be of real help to you, but just kick it out there. An anchor store is $299, $300. It's for people generally that have like a bunch of wholesale or something that have just crazy stock. Generally, it's not for your one-off type sellers, unless you just have just a killer amount of, like I said, stock coming in. But we're not going to waste too much time on the whole anchor store type situation. Like I said, it's $299. I flashed up there how many listings you can put and go from there. But let's just start with the beginning. Let's start with the beginning, which is your starter store. Okay, so for $4.95 a month, you get 250 listings. This is an excellent beginning. When I started really selling more, and I never sold full time, but when I started selling more on eBay, because I've got a 99 account, I've been selling since then. But when I got really serious about it in 2017, they didn't offer the $4.95 store. I would have hopped right on it, but because for $4.95, how can you lose? That gives you plenty of freedom to do quite a bit. It took quite a while before I got to the 250 listings myself, so that gives you a lot of freedom. You don't get anything toward any supplies or anything, so there is that thing. But eBay supplies really for what they are. It's overpriced anyway. But I mean, it's nice to have them coming in. But the $4.95 price point is excellent. It does offer 30 cents for every extra listing. So, I'd probably try to keep the 250 listings unless you just have some really killer items. That's well worth paying that 30 cents. I'm going to show you some what sold, and we're going to go back and talk about more eBay stores. Okay, let's go over some things that sold. Sold Pony and Friends 2 for the Wii. Sometimes the little Wii games will surprise you. Anyway, $9 plus shipping on the Pony and Friends 2. Secro for Xbox One. $14. A little bit of $14 something plus shipping on the Seco. Bought this in a lot of some Xbox games, and this was in it. The Pony and Friends, I bought in a lot of a Wii and some games. So always, if you're not sure of a game, look it up before you just toss it in a lot or something. Anyway, this is kind of cool. Getting ready for Halloween, of course. Friday the 13th. This is a Jason mask and the machete. Of course, it's all plastic. $22 plus shipping on the Jason and the machete. A little bit of challenge here. Packaging, and it's just a little on the long side, but not very wide. Make sure we got a little mask, but they did put a little plastic thing on it to help. Of course, with some clothes. It's just standard Van Heusen in here. $9 something plus shipping. Like I always tell you, there's stuff in your closet that you can pull out and you can sell. This is just 2XL Van Heusen, a little bit over $9 plus shipping. Pretty sure it's a $1 a day pickup. Sold these Harbor Bay jeans here. This was a $1 a day pickup. A little bit over $10 plus shipping on the Harbor Bay. These are 50, 30s, I think, on that. Sold the North Face. Big hoodie. This is hoodie season. This is the time to sell hoodies. 3XL, $22 plus shipping on the hoodie. Sold Brooks Robinson here. This is an Orioles Cooperstown Classic. Picked it up at a yard sale for $2. Picked up the hoodie for $5. The same yard sale. Anyway, we saw Brooks here. $15 plus shipping on the Brooks Robertson. New 2XL. And finally, the Saddlebred here. Picked this up at a yard sale for $1 this week. So I love to buy stuff and then turn around and sell it a few days later or the same day. Anyway, $11 and some change plus shipping on the Saddlebred Henley type shirt. Perfect time of the year to sell this type of stuff as well. So probably when you've been on this trip of eBay for about 6 months or so, you might want to consider what eBay calls the basic store. The basic store is when you have 1,000 listings, and you can break that up. By the way, I didn't split that, and I failed to explain that in the starter store. You can break that up to auctions, or become more traditional to buy it now. It used to be the other way around, but most people do buy it nows over auctions. The basic store is generally, I would say, encompasses most of my viewing audience. It's generally what y'all do is, the basic store when you've got about what the inventory I have or less, or especially what you see in the picture. You do get a $25, I'm pretty sure, credit towards supplies every 3 months with a basic store. If I seen any price increase within the next little while, it would probably be in the basic store price. I could see it going up because I believe, I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I bet you it's the most popular store there. When I first signed up for the basic store, because like I said, it was there was only they didn't have the starter store when I first started eBay. But the basic store was really good. It really fit my needs and stuff like that. I always had plenty of listings back then. Um, if you go over the 1,000, you're talking about a quarter. It just seems like the basic store is really simple. The fees seem pretty reasonable and stuff. But like I said, I could see it going up. It's $21.95 right now. I could easily see it go to the $24.99 type price thing. Like I said, you probably would look at least a minimum of, say, 6 months being in eBay before you feel comfortable going to a basic store. I believe it. Even with a big amount of listings, you want to make sure you feel comfortable with eBay. You want to make sure you feel comfortable with the platform before you get too involved and too dedicated. And this is what you're going to do, because you may be set up for a downfall. So that's my opinion on basic stores. About 6 months, you should look at it depending on how much stuff you're listing. If you're just still listing a few items here, there, and yonder, you should still stay in the starter store. But if you're really serious and you're whacking out 6, 8, 10 listings a day, the basic store is probably what you'll need. We'll take and show you some more what sold, and we'll talk about the premium store, and then wrap this thing up. Okay, let's go over some things that sold. I sold a lot of 3 ink here. It's HP. You try to always sell the non-black to it best you can in sets like this. Anyway, $21.99 plus shipping on the HP ink. Sold a VCR here very quickly. This is Panasonic. This is what I always call the blue line type VCR. Picked this up at a estate sale for $7.50. Sold this for a little over $40 plus shipping. This honestly, I don't know if you can see this, but this is one of the cleanest VCRs. If anybody deals with VCRs, you usually have a cosmetic scratch or something. This thing looks like it just rolled off out of the factory, out of the box. There is nothing on this thing. So, excellent pickup. Of course, it worked. Has a remote. I always throw in the RCA cables. But anyway, $40 plus shipping. A little bit over $40 plus shipping on the VCR. Sold this Bill Robinson shirt, $14.99 plus shipping on the Bill Robertson new with tags. This was either a $1 or $2 buy. I really can't remember on that. Bought a bunch of My Little Pony minis. This is just half of them. I got $62 plus shipping on this lot. Got another lot that's similar. This was in a huge bag for $5. Both, what will be both of them. So I've got another lot to go. But this one alone sold for $62 plus shipping on the My Little Ponies minis, man. Don't sleep on stuff like this. When I see a bag of toys as a whole, I look to see what's in there and see if there's not good stuff. But this was definitely a win-or. Sold this 4XL Columbia fleece. I took an offer. This was a $2 buy. I don't know if you heard me talk about this. Another sold. Maybe I went to local Salvation Army in July. They had a bunch of jackets for sale for $2 a piece. Picked this one up. Took it off for, like I say, $17 plus shipping. Columbia 4XL fleece. And finally, the last thing here. Well, I take this old card out of there. Sold these bamboo, bamboo butterfly coasters here in this little carriage case. A little over $14 plus shipping on the bamboo and the coasters. This was a $1 buy at a pickup at a yard sale. So most resellers, if you don't have the basic store, have the premier store or the premium store. And it's $59.95 a month. Now, that's what the store I have personally. You get $50 worth of supplies every 3 months. You get more listings than you could ever need. For me personally, I get 10,000 listings. I'll never use 10,000 listings personally. So, I mean, for me, it is the best option. I probably could, if I really worked hard at it, I could probably stay under the basic store premise, but I just rather not. I like the premium store. Like I said, it just gives me the freedom I feel like I need to operate my eBay experience. So I want to talk about too. When should you decide if you need a second store? Now, I'm going to give you this couple things, couple reasons why you would need a second store. First of all, maybe you want to get into a certain niche and you want to get into it big time. Person I watched, the Disgruntled Octopus, he recently got into the board game selling. He's selling a lot of role-playing type board games, not Monopoly, Scrabble, that type thing. I'm talking about role-playing type board games, a little bit higher end type board games. That is the perfect situation for a second store. A niche type store where people will keep on coming back to you. You're wanting return customers come back to you. This is the type of situation for a niche store, a second store. Because like I collect coins. I've told this multiple times that I collect coins. I go to coin collecting places only where they only sell coins. And then I look at how many transactions they've had before I make any purchase. I'm not, as a coin collector, going to buy a coin of any real value. Now, $10, $12, $15 coin. I might buy, take a chance on. But I'm talking about, if I'm going to put out $50, $100 for a coin, they're going to be a coin-only store, and they're going to have a ton of feedback, so I can make sure I avoid fakes. Second stores are great for niche type situations when you're focusing on one item. The second time that you use a second store is for high returns. You need to, if you're going to get to, a lot of times people want to get into every category in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. I do it myself. I have a splash of everything. I try to look at everything. I try to say, so I try not to keep my eyes closed on much. But if you're going to do that, you need to make sure you realize the categories that have high returns. And if you start building up negative feedback in those high returns categories, maybe you need to shift that stuff over to a second store. Open up a second store and start shift that stuff over because you don't want it to hurt your main store, your main reason. Too many times it's, oh, let me throw all this stuff up. Look at this. Now I'm in trouble. All these negative feedbacks are hitting me. What do I do now? The best thing to do is open up a secondary store for items that may receive high returns. If you like this type of content, please let me know below. Let me know what type of store you run on eBay. Do you run a store at all? Maybe you're just going with all the free listings that eBay gives you naturally. Take care and have a great week.